We are starting off today with Jacob Fatu, a former MLW heavyweight champion who signed with WWE earlier this year and the newest member of the Bloodline has been on a tear ever since. Fatu has brothers who are also in the business, including Journey Fatu, but unfortunately, it now appears that Journey has gone missing. Journey has competed in various promotions around the world, including MLW and West Coast Pro, and is the nephew of WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi. On Twitter, Juicy Fano, another member of the Bloodline family who has worked with Journey, announced his ally had gone missing and was obviously concerned for his well-being. Juicy said that he doesn't know where Journey is and misses him, and encouraged anyone who spots him to use the hashtag #WhereIsJourney to help locate him. Journey Fatu last competed during the West Coast Pro Friday the 13th event on September 13th, and this is obviously a stressful and concerning situation for his family. We can only hope that Journey Fatu will be found safely soon, and what do you make of this situation? Please contact the Bloodline family if you have any info, and let us know below. On the latest AEW Collision, Saraya and Jamie Hayter met in a Saraya's Rules match, meaning that Saraya could use any weapons she wanted to, but Hayter couldn't. It also meant that Saraya's assistant, Harley Cameron, could legally interfere in the match, and things started off strong for Saraya thanks to the contest's rules. During the match, though, Harley Cameron was trying to put Hayter through a table as she was perched on the top rope, and Saraya hit her opponent with a chair shot. This threw Hayter and Cameron off balance, and the two of them landed awkwardly on the tables in a particularly nasty fall that the two women took. What made this worse is that the table on which Harley Cameron landed did not break, and one can only hope that she did not suffer any major injury during the botched sequence. As for the match, Hayter won the bout with a tombstone pile driver and a lariat, but it'll be this nasty looking table spot that fans remember from the first Saraya's Rules match. Over to SmackDown as the tensions between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens grew on the latest show, especially after Rhodes ultimately cost Owens and Randy Orton their match. Initially, Cody proposed a 6-man tag against 3 members of the Bloodline, but Owens immediately said no and instead wanted a regular tag match against Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Following the match, Owens and Rhodes had a brief confrontation in which Randy Orton had to be the voice of calm, but was this just an act by the Legend Killer? Fans spotted an interesting clue during the show which points to the Viper being the mastermind behind the growing issues between Rhodes and Orton. During the match, Tongaloa threw Cody into the ring to knock the ref out, and Solo Sikoa took advantage of the distraction to get the pin on Owens. The prizefighter was extremely upset that Rhodes came out, but he didn't come out uninvited as earlier in the show, Orton had asked Rhodes to have their back if they were outnumbered. Owens had inexplicably told Rhodes not to come out, making Orton's invitation all the more intriguing, as if not for Randy, Cody may not have appeared and played a factor in the result. Orton had even told Rhodes that he talked to Owens about Cody coming out, but it sure looked like Owens didn't know, adding another layer to this mystery. But what do you think? Is Randy Orton playing Rhodes and Owens against each other, ultimately in pursuit of the undisputed WWE title? Let us know what you think down in the comments. Now, TNA's Joe Hendry has made headlines in recent months with his crossover work in NXT, including challenging NXT champion Ethan Page at No Mercy, where he came up short. Despite the loss, Hendry remains a viral hit who's made appearances on Billboard, online shows, and more legitimate sports, including at a recent Milwaukee Brewers game. At the September 28th game in Milwaukee's American Family Feud against the New York Mets, someone paid to have Hendry's catchphrase appear on the scoreboard. Hendry has hinted that his time with NXT has come to an end for now, but Shawn Michaels has already invited the Scottish star to reach out for a potential return. Next month, Hendry will challenge TNA World Champion Nick Nemeth at Bound for Glory, and until then, his popularity will continue to rise with every passing day. Now, the September 24th edition of NXT was a historic night, as it marked the final show on the USA Network, and that was an occasion those at the show did not take lightly. Sean Ross Sapp reported on Fightful Select that the internal name for this episode of NXT was Goodbye USA, as the brand often gives internal titles to episodes, and this one was special. The same episode also featured CM Punk, who was seen speaking to Javon Evans before Trick Williams came up to him, as Punk will officiate Williams versus Page for the NXT title this week. Punk told Williams that he plans to be fair and won't let anyone, not Ethan Page or even Trick himself, get away with breaking the rules. According to Fightful Select, CM Punk was not present at this week's episode of NXT, and that his segments were filmed the previous week. NXT's lengthy overrun also resulted in the show almost being pulled from the air by the USA Network, which would have been quite the unfortunate end for the show's era on the network. Fortunately, the show ended just seconds before the cutoff and without any issues, but the black and gold brand came very close to an interruption. WWE will take NXT on the road for a few weeks, but they plan to return to the NXT arena with a brand new look, and we'll have to see what's in store for NXT in its next chapter on the CW. From 2019 to 2020, Mandy Rose and Otis had an on-screen romance, which saw the pair lock lips at WrestleMania 36 following Otis's victory over Dolph Ziggler. While speaking on her Power Alphas podcast, Mandy Rose revealed an unexpected moment from her time with Otis, saying he got too into his work with her. She explained, "He definitely stuck a little tongue in there. I was like, whoa, Otis, take it easy over there. Let's just do..." Like, when you actually think about it though, that was wild. Otis and Mandy Rose's romance storyline ended in the summer of 2020 when she was drafted to Raw, and Rose has said she feels the couple deserved a better ending. Regardless, fans might be surprised by Mandy Rose's admission, but ultimately it was not a serious moment, and that's what matters between the two. Do you miss seeing Otis and his peach on WWE TV? Should the pair reunite if Rose were to return to WWE? Let us know in the comments. Whenever Ilja Dragunov and Gunther have faced off, the pair have delivered hard-hitting magic in the ring, and that was the case once again at a recent live event. At a show in Columbus, Georgia, the two met for a hard-hitting match, which fans who attended the show gushed about on social media. In the end, it was Der Ring General who retained his World Heavyweight Championship, but Dragunov certainly pushed Gunther to the limit when they met in the ring. Dragunov's valiant effort earned him a standing ovation from the crowd after the match, as while he didn't win the gold, he certainly earned the respect of the Columbus fans. While Dragunov isn't currently in the title picture, many fans are eager to see him move up the card on Raw, and perhaps this live event could be a tease of what's to come on TV. In the meantime, Gunther has Sami Zayn demanding a title match, one the Austrian has refused thus far, but it may just be a matter of time before the pair meet in the ring again. Now 2024 has seen a revival of TNA wrestling, with the company making major news thanks to its events, and now the company is releasing new merch for a very good cause. This week it was shared that TNA and You Are More, a national mental health charity, are teaming to release a Suplex the Stigma shirt. 100% of the proceeds raised by the shirt will go towards supporting the National Alliance of Mental Illness, and in a video, Santana shared his own battles with anxiety and depression. This is a very good cause for TNA to work with and will do a lot of good for those dealing with mental health struggles, as both sides hope to suplex the stigma once and for all. TNA has had a lot on its plate as of late, including dealing with the impact of Hurricane Helene, which has affected plans to host tapings, with one taping in Spartanburg being cancelled. Now, Fightful Select reports that TNA will host this taping at Skyway Studios in Nashville on Wednesday, October 2nd, and Thursday, October 3rd instead. Hurricane Helene has already claimed over 50 lives, and many more are being left to struggle due to its effects, and we're sending our best to all those who have been affected. In 2024, WWE has opened up its forbidden door and worked with several promotions in wrestling, in stark contrast to how Vince McMahon did business for years. This year has seen Triple H reach agreements with TNA, Pro Wrestling Noah, All Japan, GCW, and Marigold, but WWE is using some very selective word choices to explain what's going on. Fightful Select reports that WWE does not consider these working alliances as partnerships, but the official word from WWE is that they are undergoing talent exchanges with others. It's not clear why exactly the partnership term has been a no-go, but WWE doesn't want what they're doing with other companies to be seen as official partnerships. Whatever WWE calls them, these talent exchanges have proven immensely popular with fans, and we'll have to see who's next to step through the forbidden door. On the latest AEW Dynamite, MVP made his debut and made clear he wants to manage Swerve Strickland, while also lambasting Prince Nana's handling of the former AEW World Champion. MVP made the argument that Nana has been dancing and selling coffee when he should be focused on Strickland, especially after Hangman Page burned down Swerve's childhood home. On Twitter this past week, Nana logged on to celebrate National Coffee Day and encouraged fans to go to his site to purchase his signature blends and to go to Shop AEW for more merch. This tweet caught the attention of MVP, who pointed out that the man who burned down Strickland's home is still walking around safe and sound, adding that Swerve deserves better. Should Swerve align with MVP, the two could add another member to their ranks, as it's been reported that Bobby Lashley's AEW debut will be coming over the next month or so. With MVP's business card reading Hurt Syndicate, the manager clearly has plans for a faction, and that could spell disaster for the coffee-selling Prince Nana very soon. During AEW Collision, Chris Jericho scored the win for his team in a Trios Tornado match, and did so by getting a pinfall over ROH World Champion Mark Briscoe. The match saw Jericho, Big Bill, and Brian Keith face Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Kyle O'Reilly, and the finish saw Jericho get the pin after Bill chokeslammed Briscoe through a table. After the match, Jericho made his intentions clear, signaling that he's coming for Briscoe's ROH World title, a title the Canadian held for 80 days in 2022. Could we see the Ocho add another world title reign to his illustrious career, especially with his learning tree allies by his side, or will Briscoe be able to fend off the veteran? What do you think about Jericho targeting the ROH World title again? Would you like to see him hold the championship once more? Let us know in the comments. We've got some sad news to report now, as Jersey Joe Wilchak, a beloved name known for his time in ECW and Ring of Honor, has passed away. PW Insider confirmed that the former Atlas security member had passed away after a long battle with lung cancer, and he was known for his behind-the-scenes work in wrestling. As part of Atlas Security, Wilchak provided protection for wrestling promotions, ensuring the safety of wrestlers and fans during ECW's notoriously rowdy shows. After ECW's closure, Wilchak continued his work in Ring of Honor, another promotion known for its passionate fan base, and became a trusted figure in wrestling, known for his professionalism. Wilchak's family has opened his Facebook page for those wishing to send condolences and memories, and we'd like to extend our deepest sympathies to his family at this sad time. Since joining WWE in late 2019, Scarlett has competed just a handful of times, with all but 2 of her matches coming at untelevised live events. Until last weekend, Scarlett's most recent match had been in June 2023 when she lost to Lyra Valkyria at an untelevised event in Dublin, Ireland, but now she's made her return to the ring. At the live event in Columbus, Scarlett competed for the first time in 15 months when she and Karrion Kross teamed up to take on Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. Unfortunately for the real-life married couple, they came up short against the Terror Twins, both of whom have matches this weekend at WWE Bad Blood. Not only did the Terror Twins win, but Rhea Ripley added insult to injury, as after Karrion Kross delivered a suck-it gesture to Priest, Ripley did the same to Kross in front of his wife. While fans were certainly happy to see Scarlett make her in-ring return after so long, many do feel that she more than deserves to be an active in-ring competitor. We'll have to see if WWE gives Scarlett more opportunities to shine in the ring, as plenty of fans are ready to see much more of the Smoke Show as an active superstar. When not competing for WWE, John Cena has made his name in acting with roles that have taken him around the world, and this past weekend, Cena landed in Springfield, USA. Cena voiced himself in the season 36 premiere of The Simpsons, where he helped deliver the baby of comic book guy and his wife Kumiko in an unexpected moment. While the couple was hoping for a midwife, they got Cena, who did tout himself as the only licensed midwife to win 16 WWE championships. Cena didn't disappoint, as after bringing the baby into the world, he delivered his "You can't see me" catchphrase, and this cameo makes Cena the second WWE star to have a role on the show. Back in 1997, Bret Hart bought the mansion of Mr. Burns, and borrowing a line from Freddie Blassie, blasted the crotchety old billionaire as a pitiful pencil-neck geek. What do you think of John Cena's cameo on The Simpsons? Share your thoughts and feedback in the comments section below. If you've watched Jeff Hardy's career for long enough, you'll know of Willow, his twisted alter ego that never appeared in WWE, despite there once being an idea for the character. Nowadays, Jeff is in TNA, where Willow has previously appeared, and the character's return now looks much more like a reality. On the Battleground podcast, Jeff stated that he plans to bring back Willow and that a new faceplate mask is in the making, teasing a new look for the character. Jeff's comments come after Matt said earlier this month that he expects Willow to be back on TNA Wrestling TV sooner rather than later. Willow appeared for TNA during the 2010s and is Jeff Hardy at his most creative, and expect the twisted character back on TV in the very near future. Seth Rollins hasn't appeared on WWE TV since August after being written off with an attack by Bronson Reed, but this past weekend, the Visionary did surface at the Buffalo Bills vs. Baltimore Ravens game. WWE posted the video of Rollins on the sideline as he hyped up the crowd and was seen cheering for the Ravens, and that paid off for the team that beat the Bills 35-10 on the field. Next year, the Royal Rumble will take place on February 1st from the Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana, and buzz is already growing for the event. This past weekend, Drew McIntyre and Liv Morgan were at an Indianapolis Colts game to hype up the event, with McIntyre having a special Colts-themed championship title on his shoulder. Both stars got into the Colts spirit and posed with the Colts cheerleaders after the announcement, and the Colts would win the game 27-24 against the Steelers. WWE's deal with Indiana will see the city host a 2-night SummerSlam and a 2-night WrestleMania, so expect plenty of WWE in the city for years to come. In recent weeks, JBL has appeared for several wrestling promotions, including at AAA's Triple Mania, GCW's Homecoming, and at MLW, OVW, and TNA shows as well. JBL has not required permission from WWE for these appearances, though isn't being referred to as JBL when not appearing for WWE, but rather under his real name, John Layfield. Speaking to Sportskeeda Wrestling, JBL addressed his WWE contract status, and though he didn't go into details, he explained much of what's been said isn't correct. I'm gonna answer this as politically correct, not politically correct, as correct for me as possible. I've never answered a question about my contract, and I can tell you 100% for this, I've seen speculation about me on the internet. It's all wrong. 100% wrong. I'm not going to answer whether I am or not because WWE has always had a confidentiality clause in it, and I've never thought it was good business to discuss my contract or anybody else's, and so, I'm sorry, but I refuse to answer, but I will say that the speculation about me has been wrong. For the record, JBL is under a Legends deal with WWE, which allows the company to use his name and image for merchandise and plans, and he can also make appearances. As for his work outside WWE, JBL is continuing to draw interest, and it remains to be seen where the former WWE World Champion will appear next in the world of wrestling. Congratulations are in order for NXT's Tatum Paxley and Javier Bernal, as the two got married this past week after getting engaged last September. The pair had a star-studded ceremony with Wendy Chu, Carmen Petrovich, and Nikita Lyons all attending, and we'd like to send our congratulations to the happy couple. And we're ending today with Kenny Omega, as the former AEW World Champion has been out of action since last December following a serious bout of diverticulitis. Aside from a sole appearance for AEW in May, Omega has remained off TV throughout his recovery and shared earlier this month that he is still not cleared to return. With that said, a new Instagram post from Kota Ibushi has raised the hopes of fans, as the Japanese star shared a photo from a training session with Omega. Similar to Omega, Ibushi hasn't competed for AEW in 2024, as he suffered an injury to both of his ankles in January when wrestling Naomichi Marufuji in Pro Wrestling Noah. Ibushi's most recent AEW match was back in November of last year, but this latest social media post is a positive sign that the pair are making strides in what's reported to be intense training. While fans would love to see both men back soon, their long-term health is the priority, and time will tell when the Golden Lovers get a chance to compete in an AEW ring again.